Hey guys, and in today's video we're going to be assembling some Scarab Occult Terminators. Now you'd have seen from a couple of previous videos already, I've done some unboxing of these to show you what's in the contents, and I've also built a squad of Rubric Marines as well and had those painted, all except the bases, and I'll link those videos in the description below. So this video we're going to be doing the first unit of Terminators that I have. So here's the box, I've got all my equipment ready, so my side cutters, glue and scalpel for cleaning the parts up. And we're going to be going straight in and building these guys up. As before with my previous videos, I do skip forward and do fast forward a little bit to not bore you entirely with the model assembly. But the model that we're going to be focusing on here is the Sorcerer model. Now he's not an aspiring sorcerer with the Terminator kit, he is a full-blown sorcerer. Not as powerful as an exalted one, but good enough, generating some good warp charge points. So we've got everything ready, just need to check the instructions, find the section which is at the back, as I demonstrated I believe with my unboxing video, that the sorcerer is at the back, as it does share some parts if you're not going to build a unit with the sorcerer model, if you're just going to go with plain 5 models. So jumping straight to the back then, we can get on with the sorcerer build. But diving straight in with the cutters, get all the parts ready for this particular model. Then all I'm doing is just locating all the parts and cutting them all out, ready to glue him together. So the Sorcerer is built pretty much the same as any other regular Terminator really, some leg options, torso parts, but what makes him stand out is obviously the cloak and the staff that he carries. He's also got a couple of extra bits of detail with some scrolls and an ornate knife that he carries on his hip. But other than that, this particular guy, you know, compared to the other 4, is almost identical really in how you'll go about building him. So instead of the staff, you'll have a combi bolter with the others. But other than that, the process is exactly the same when you come to build the remaining 4 models. You do get heavy weapon options in this kit, so you do get the Soul Reaper cannon and a flamer. You can pick and choose which one you want. I've gone with the Soul Reaper for this particular build, as I think the statistics on it make it a little bit more useful than the heavy flamer option. And then you also get a missile rack option as well, which I'm going to be adopting for these, just for some anti-tank ability. So picking up the trusty scalpel then, it's a case of just cleaning up the parts. I do find that these models are a lot cleaner than some of the older kits that you might have had experience with, like Imperial Terminators and some of the kits that may be a good couple of years old now. Just focusing really where the parts join the sprues tends to be where the cleaning needs to take place, but far less flash and mould lines than back in the day, way before when I started the hobby, when they were quite bad and required a lot more cleaning than they do these days. But we're spin through, we're going at 10 times the speed I'm actually doing this at, just to cut down the video time, but feel free to skip forward if you're not interested in watching this process. But you know, it's always useful, I find, to see other people's techniques and see how they get by, making sure they pay attention to detail. Making sure that you do clean parts up is really telling when it comes to painting models. If you leave anything behind, it really can show in painting, and the last thing you want to do is prime a model only to realise you've got a terrible mould line sticking out, and it really can affect the final look and feel of the model. Okay, so that's all the parts cleaned up and we're good to start assembly. And as always, if you watched my videos before, I do dry fit pretty much everything just to make sure that I know exactly where the parts are going and where to apply the glue, so you're not applying it in the wrong place and making mistakes in an amateur fashion. So I've done the two halves of the torso, the two legs, the parts of the staff, just assembling the combi bolter here and attaching that to his arm. Just makes the final assembly when you put it all together that little bit easier, as everything's had a chance to set. Just using the tip of my blade there just to make sure that his head's located and angled in the direction that I want. Admittedly, on this particular headdress it does cover most of the head. He comes with an extra tabard to make himself stand out a little bit more. And just making sure I'm happy with the balance and the tilt of the torso onto the legs here. Once it's had a few seconds to go off, it's a case of just adding some of the ornate parts here. I'm just picking where the dagger's going to go here. And that just fits onto his hip, nice and easy. And as everything begins to set and dry, you can just start adding the arms on and making sure you're happy with the pose. There's a small scroll section which you can either choose to have it on or off if you so desire. Just carrying probably a whole bunch of magical spells in which to thwart the forces of the Imperium. Just his shoulder guards to go on then, and he is complete. When doing the shoulder guards, these are keyed slightly, so they do have two little round bevels that go towards the front of the model. And there we go, all 5 are now complete. So you can see here, this is the Sorcerer model all finished up. I've just blue tacked them to the bases for now just to make it a little bit easier to show you guys. The second model in the kit is the Soul Reaper autocannon, or assault cannon, and power sword. The third model carries the missile rack, as I mentioned earlier, and then there's just 2 ablative wounds, as we like to call them, I guess. Ones that are going to die first, so they've got the standard power sword and combi bolter on those. And what I've done here is I've actually bought 2 boxes because 2 is always better than 1. And I've actually gone ahead and painted this first set up to the flesh wash that I've applied over the gold. So they've been primed black, sprayed in gold, the Retributor armor gold, and then washed with Reikland flesh shade and left to dry. So that's where I've got with this particular build. If you need to know how I've done that gold work, then just please refer back to my Rubric marine painting and you'll see exactly how I've done that. Here's some final pictures then. So we've got the new unit and then the ones that I've gone a little bit further ahead with in gold, and that gives me my 2 units. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like, comment and drop a subscription on, and then you'll get notifications for the next videos and so on. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you on the next video.